morning, happy Monday. It's Monday Mojo time again, and I'm here ready. And you'll notice I've done some clearing and sorting, and I'm now very organized. And look at that, I've got a little display going on in the background. So hopefully this will be great. I'm just going to go into Facebook and just remind people to come over and find me live here. So I'll do a little live there to say come here. I think that's the best thing to do. Where are we? Because we're still in that changeover mode where we are new to YouTube. Right, where is Facebook? I'll just turn off my sound because that's always a good idea. Right, clear Facebook. Mojo. Here we go. See if I can log in here and go live. We're going to be live in 2 places. Hey, how cool is that? Go live. Do here. Hello, everybody. Just to say, I haven't done my hair. I needed the camera to do it, and I couldn't go live until anyway. Happy festive Monday Mojo. If you want to come and join us, I'm in YouTube. There I am doing YouTube things. The link is just below on the page. Click that and come through, and you'll join us straight away. I hope to see you there. Bye. Right, good morning. Let's start this properly now then. So, how is everybody? Everybody feeling festive? It's that day or so. It's Christmas Eve, isn't it? Christmas Eve, and it's action stations. So frantically wrapping, buying last minute things at the supermarket, making last minute makes. But it's quite exciting now as well, isn't it? It's that 2 more sleeps. Exciting, and as an excuse to eat mince pies for breakfast, have Baileys in your morning coffee, and all those things. Not that I'm doing any of that because I've got to drive, but tomorrow I will be having a Bucks Fizz breakfast. Chris has got all sorts of lovely food in for us to enjoy. I'm just going to bring that down a bit because I feel I'm looking over to the side to speak to you. Right, who's in with me? Let's have a look. You can comment just like you can in Facebook. You can say hi, you can put comments, and hopefully, so I'm going to put in here, good morning all, happy Christmas Eve. Go. No arrow. Yeah, there you go. So in case you haven't found me before, I'm Gemma Crow. I'm a jewelry designer, teacher, author, maker, demonstrator, presenter. I do a bit of everything. I work with all mediums. Wire mainly. I usually do my hair a bit better than this, but like I said, I came up here and realized I don't have a mirror up here, and the screen's too fuzzy when you're setting up the live video to actually do it. Maybe I'll do it again in a minute. I've got a hat to put on anyway. So yeah, and every Monday I come in and do a live and just talk about what I've been up to this week, what's been motivating me, what's been keeping my mojo on fire and busy and coming up with new ideas, give you some hints and tips on how to do the same, and generally just natter with all my colleagues out there and fellow jewelry designer makers, crafters, creatives. I'll also tell you what I've got coming up. So I've got a few things to show you today, and also we do a mini mystery make. So I have a box with 10 mini tutorials in, and you get to choose by voting which tutorial to do. Now they're mystery, so it could be anything in there. So sometimes it can be wire, sometimes it can be beading, sometimes it can be all sorts, anything really. So basically, as I'm working through the week, I think, oh, that would make a little quick demo, and that's what I put in the box ready for you to choose. So I think last week, was it last week we did this one? We did a little dragonfly, or was that the week before? This one is one of our mystery makes. And the week before, or 1 week, we did little safety pins, kilt pins. We made those. Another time we've done, it's endless, it goes on and on. There's loads. And I was doing this on Facebook in my Facebook group called Crow's Mojo. Good morning, Leslie. Facebook group called Crow's Mojo, where lots of people gather just to share their makes and what they've been up to. But it was becoming difficult to keep up with comments and to share videos and edit, and they're difficult to find and archive and organize. This way on YouTube, I can build the channel. I can make things easy to find for the future. I can take screen grabs so you know exactly what the video is about, and it's just much easier and probably much more sustainable. So we are now on YouTube doing our Monday Mojos, and I'm hoping everybody follows. So quite a start, but we'll get there, I hope. Right, I've got my morning coffee. Leslie, how are you doing? Are you all ready for Christmas? Is everything prepared? I bet it is. You're quite organised, aren't you? Well, you're very organised. So I bet you've got all your makes done. You've got all your Christmas sorted, all your dinner sorted, all your presents wrapped. Go on, make me feel really jealous. Tell me how organised you are. And who else? So there's a few people in. Say hi in the comments so that I know who's in and I can say hello back to you. I know a couple of people said they struggled to find it last week. The link is in Crow's Mojo. I've put the link in up ahead. Oh, good morning, Marjorie. Good morning. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to you too. It's quite exciting. Other big news yesterday, the wedding photographer, Che. So I got married. So just in case you don't know, you're new finding me here, I got married 4 weeks ago to my wonderful husband, Chris. And we had, so our photographer has pulled out all the stops and managed to get all our photos, all 966 of them, edited, and she sent them through last night. So we had a look through last night. So really excited. You know, you've got to do that at least 3 times. So we're going to do that again tonight and relive every moment of the wedding, which wasn't just a day. It was sort of over 2 days, Friday, Saturday. And so there's so much to look at, and Che worked so hard. So thank you, Che, if you're watching, or if you managed to watch at one point. They're beautiful photos, and yeah, can't wait to share some. So Leslie, I'm ready. Wow, I still got a few presents to wrap. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, I've got all the presents to wrap. Not that I've got many this year. We've got a pact in the family. We're just buying the kids. So I don't have many to wrap. Of course, I have to buy my mum. You can't not buy your mum, can you? So I've got my mum something. So I've got to wrap hers as well. And I've got a few things I'd like to make if I get a chance. I'm not sure I'm going to get a chance, but I have a few ideas of things to make. I've been working, I've been going through, because I've been sorting out. Can you see my nice background? Let me see if I can show you. Look at that. It's organized. It's organized at long last. So I've tried to bring everything that I use on a sort of daily, weekly basis over to these few shelves here, and then other things sort of archived in the messy bit at the back, which you're not allowed to see. That's still got to be organized and packed. But I've emptied drawers, I've been to the tip, I've got rid of loads of stuff. It feels really good. And my workbench is clearer, not entirely clear, because my plan is to have a permanent photographic area, because I'm fed up of making loads of stuff and then having to clear up and find a space to do photos. So I'm just going to set it up and leave it as that's where I do my photos. So I've been very busy, but it feels so good. It feels so good to be organized and know where things are. She says, you watch, I'll pull out a tutorial today and I'll be like, oh no, that's right at the back. Hopefully that won't happen. Would choose wisely. Storage, yeah, and I went to Hobbycraft yesterday. It's dangerous in there, isn't it? The storage, I'm just obsessed with the storage. I love it, all the boxes, and oh god, I mean, I do need more storage, but yeah, it's easy to get carried away and looking at all that, isn't it? And then thinking, well, what size do I need? You know, it's like everything's different sizes, so, and half my boxes are broken, so I do need to replace them. But it's quite a big expense when you do it all at once, isn't it? Buying boxes and things. But I did buy this one, £7, and I thought this one I will make into our Mystery Mojo Makes box, because I have them all in these little tubs. Why can't I ever do that? I have them all in these little tubs, but yeah, I forget which number's which, so this one I can just permanently number, and then we know we're not going to double up. I can replace them easily. Plus these always fall over, I knock them over, they're annoying, so I'll put it all in one place. And we're going to do that together, so you'll get to see what goes in the boxes this week, which is exciting. So you'll have a proper, it won't be quite as much of a mystery as usual. The other thing I found when I was clearing out boxes is just so many projects I've forgotten about. So I found this little robin, which I am going to film a free Christmas tutorial for after we finish today. Can you see him? Isn't he the cutest? I can't, do you know, I looked at him and I thought, how did I make that? And now I've worked it out. I've done a bit of engineering, backwards engineering. I've worked out. So here he is, little robin, and he's a tiny little thing. So I think he would make great earrings or a pendant, as he is here. But isn't he cute? He's so cute, and he's so fun to make. So when we finish today, I will be filming this as a little Christmas thank you to all my Mojos who come in to join me. There, look, isn't he cute? And I suppose it doesn't have to be a robin. Once you've got the technique, you can make any bird. Maybe a dove would be pretty. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing after. Well, that's what I'll be doing after filming that. What else? Oh, yeah, and then I found these little wire hats I made. Can anybody remember me making those? I've got this one and a purple one. So it's a little wire top hat. And I just thought, how festive is that? So I'm definitely going to be wearing that today. I've got to go to work this afternoon, not because I'm working, but because there's a staff treat afternoon. And there's going to be food and Secret Santa. So I'm going to go to that. And I'm going to wear my little hat. Yeah, the little top hat. Isn't that cute? Oh, you like the robin, Leslie? Good. He is very sweet. Let's see if I can pop this on. Oh, I put it the wrong side. I can never get the hang of this doing this camera. I think, and I need to reposition my Ta-da! I need to reposition my poinsettia because I look a little bit like I'm trying to be Princess Leia. Anyway, there's my hat, wire hat. It's kind of cool. And there's a Christmas wreath up in the window that I made as well. There's so many things. I just kept finding more and more. And then I end up putting that on my desk and then thinking, oh, I'll do a little tutorial on that, or save that because I'll do a workshop. And then before I know it, I've got more on my desk than I have in the drawers. Do you all find that? It just gets so distracted when you start tidying up. It takes far longer than it should. Leslie, I love that hat too. Workshop. Maybe we could do a little top hats workshop. I mean, I suppose it's quite versatile because it could be a top hat. It's also a nice way of making sort of little vessels and candle holders and all sorts. Loads of festive makes. You love the top hat, Marjorie? Oh, good. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? Oh, gosh, I think it must be about 7 or 8 years ago I made it. Must be. I've got another one here. I'll show you. Oh, let me bring this. So many things. And I found the little robins that I made. The big ones. Jingle bells. jingle bells, jingle all the way. Look at that. So that's yeah, Christmas wreath, loads of beading. Oh, that took hours, that did. So yeah, so that's now up in the window. Well, that's like a little frame, isn't it? Hello. Yeah, so there's me Christmas wreath. Very sweet. Very pleased with that. And then I got another little top hat here. You might like this one more, Leslie. It's purple. A purple one. I got some little crystals on the front. There's a lot of weaving in there. Such a lot of weaving. So there you go, a purpley one. He's cute, isn't he? And the crystals are really sparkly on there. What have I got around the bottom? I've got a bit of ribbon around the bottom. It's unnecessary, I think. Probably get rid of that ribbon because it actually looks a bit messy. It sort of dulls it down a bit. But yeah, there it is. Put something behind it. There you go. A lot of weaving. So, Christmas top hats. Or just top hats. So I'll put that back in the box. Maybe a workshop. It's fun. So, what have you found recently that you forgot you'd made? It's nice when that happens. You think, blimey, I made that. Oh, the other thing. Some of you will remember this one. This. Can you remember the little squirrel? Look at him, isn't he cute? Eating his little nuts. He's so sweet, isn't he? He's so diddy. Yeah, he's quite heavy though. There's a lot of wire in there. But yeah, there's the little squirrel. So yeah, it's fun looking through things and trying to finding things you might have done in the past. But he is very cute. His little face. He's good. Come on. He's not liking to vote, but his little cheeks. Looks like he's got a few nuts stuffed in there, doesn't he? Hello. So, a little squirrel fattening up for Christmas. He's now on the side. Oh, there's so much. There's so much over here. So much stuff. What else? What I've been working on this week is this one. So this is for my demonstration, a live demonstration on Instagram with Charmers Gems on Monday the 30th, 6 p.m. So on Monday the 30th, I won't be doing a live sale, but I will be giving you a link to all the materials that I've used in this demonstration, and you can follow along and we'll get all the materials you need. And this will be the thing I am demonstrating on the 30th. It's lovely, isn't it? That great big sort of square cabochon of amber there, and then these beautiful hexagons there. I've got more goodies as well, but I'll show you those. I'll show you now because I can. I've got this, and you see that it's not going to focus without my hand being behind. Can you see? Look at that. It's an amber cabochon. It's got a bee carved into the back. Carved into the back like that. So when you see it from the front, the bee looks like it's sort of suspended inside. It's lovely, isn't it? So that's an amber cab. And then I've got jet as well. So the black gemstones you see, and the big ones, these are jet, and I chose jet because it's an organic, just like amber is, rather than a gemstone. So it's a resin, not resin, but it's not entirely sure what it is. It is like an amber. It's like a resin, but it's black, and it's a beautiful, it's gorgeous weight. So this is really lovely and lightweight as well, so not as heavy. And then you've got little tiny black spinel cubes, because I wanted to emphasize the angles. So I wanted it to stay kind of geometric throughout the design. So I went for the squares to sort of mimic the square shape of the gem, and also the lovely angles on those hexagons, amber hexagons. Yeah, so there you go. That's what I'm demonstrating on Monday the 30th, 6 o'clock, live on Instagram, Charmers Gems Instagram, and I'll be doing it from home this time, so I don't have to travel anywhere, which is nice, and it means I can take as long as we need. So I hope you can join me for that. I will be sharing links, so don't worry, there will be links that you'll get to know at some point. Right then, my lovelies, what demo shall I do today? Shall I show you? Can you hear the dog? She's having a bark. It's obviously the postman. I didn't put her in her crate this morning, so we might hear a bit from her. She can be quite chopsy in the mornings. Right, I'm going to move this tray aside. I'll put that over there. Right then. So give me some. Let me show you through. Oh, the jet and amber makes perfect match. It does, Marjorie. It really does. They just work together for me. The weight of them, the feel of them, the sort of texture, even though you can't see it, it feels, they just work. They just work really well. And I love that organic, the organic nature of it. You love that hat too. The top hat would be great for Hogmanay party. Yeah, New Year's party, definitely. Are you going to wear this one, because I've got some fantastic gold sparkly cowboy boots that I'm going to be wearing for Christmas and New Year. They're really cool. I got them for my hen party, and I've been just waiting for another opportunity to wear them. So I'll be wearing them today to my work Christmas party, and I got my sparkly top to go with, and I don't have them on because I'm not trotting around the house in them. Like they're a few hours wear, and that's it. You know, they go on, they look nice for a few hours, and then my feet say, get them off. So they don't stay on for long. All right, let's fill our box, shall we? There's more than 10 compartments in here, but that's okay because they are reconfigurable, which means I can, if I've got bigger ones, I can change them. Right, let me show you what I've got in these little boxes, because sometimes you don't get to see, do you? So, right, this one I'm not going to put them in order, by the way. So you're just going to get an idea what goes in. I'm not going to put them in box one, box two. So this is a ring, a rose ring. I've done it in two-tone here so that you can come back. These are nice, quick, simple makes. Excuse my nails, they look terrible, don't they? I just can't. It's all the copper. Working with copper just makes your hands look so grubby all the time. Anyway, right, so there's one. Here's another one. And this is more like a component. So some of these give you a whole tutorial on how to make a whole piece, and then some of these little elements are just so that you can use them as inspiration to further a design. So, or then to continue with, to make something with the components. So this one is a little beaded component, and I'll show you how to create that, and then we'll talk about ideas on how to use that in the future. What have I got here? Oh, these are little rose spacers. A bit of a rose theme. So this, you see, these are little roses, and on the back is little loop so that you can thread them in. You can use them like buttons. So these are really cute just to replace the buttons on your shirt or something like that. But also great for threading on and using as spacers in a design. Okay, so those are there. Put those in there. Oh. These are earrings, Mobius rings. So this tutorial will cover how to create a Mobius ring. and then give you some ideas on how to use them in your designs. Mobius rings are brilliant. They're great for just adding a bit of detail to a chain link, but they're also great for spacing beads out as well. They make great bead spacers. Put that in there. Right, this one. This is a little element again that can be diversified. So this one is designed to be sort of the center of a neckline piece, but at the other way it could be a lovely hair tiara or hair accessory. Why can't I get this in the right place? Hair accessory. You put it like a little mini crown. Obviously upscale it, but great as a center for a necklace. Also great for if you turn it like that, you can make it into a nice earring. But again, this is the sort of thing we do. We look at the design, show you how to do it, and then talk about the endless possibilities for its use. Then this one is a demonstration on how to create elements that can add a little bit of quirkiness to your designs. So it goes through hammering and texturing and techniques for that. So as well as how to create these quirky designs, it talks about texturing and then how to tessellate them so that you can create some quite unusual funky designs. Okay, so that's there. That's when that might need a bigger box, so I can open the compartments up. Who's that? Hi, Joe. Hi, Gemma. Mobius drop is a great design. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? They're just so easy to do and so versatile. Yeah, and not just as drops, but as spacers. They're brilliant as spacers because they hug the gemstone really nicely, so they almost act like a little cap. Right, then this is sort of making the most of a one bead and creating almost like a pendant or an earring. So there's that one, how to do that. I think I might have more than 10 here, but that's okay. They can be in rotation, can't they? Empty, empty, empty. What else have we got here? Oh, we got a spiral, a bead wrapped in a spiral. That really wants to go in the box, doesn't it? It's very keen. Wrapped in a spiral with a loop. So how to cage a large bead like this in a spiral. So this is not an interchangeable one. This is permanent caging. Okay, so that's that one. Space there. Ooh. Oh, and then have this little element here. So this is a beady bead. Beady beads are great, and depending on what type of bead you use, gives you a completely different effect each time. So this one would cover how to create a beady bead. Oh, that's the same again. That's a caged bead. So pop that in with the caged bead. Just two the same. What's this? Oh, okay. It's another little element. So this is sort of framing gems. It's great for things like chakra pendants or stacking beads to represent birthstones, etc. It can be an earring, it can be a pendant, it could be a center for a bracelet. But basically, I should talk to you about putting a cage in and how to do that. Anything in there? Right. What else? Is that it on this side? Just checking I haven't got anything over here. Nope, nothing over there. That's it. So, have I got 10? Stack them. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do have 10. Yes. Is that one in each? Yep. 10 in there. Oh, Joe, hi again. The drop with a single stone. If you added wings, it would look similar to a staff or asclepial. Oh, I know what you mean. The medical symbol. I know what you mean. I just don't know how to say that. Asclepius. Asclepius. Number 3 for Leslie. Yeah, number 3 for Leslie. Right. There's more people in than I have got names on my list. So please say hello so I know you're there and I can say hello back. I feel ever so rude when I don't get to say hello to you. And we're talking about who's ready for Christmas. So let me know. What are you making? What's your last minute makes? Have you still got something to make? Is there something I can help with? Maybe you're trying to make something and you don't know how to finish it, or you are stuck for an idea. Ask me. I'm here live so that I can help. That's the other great thing about being live, isn't it? Is that I can respond to what you need. So let me know. Are you ready? Do you need some help? Can I or anybody else in this live video help? I'm sure they can. Massive skill set between us all here. Right. I'm still waiting for numbers because at the moment number 3 is winning because it's the only vote. Do you do sand casting, please? I don't, Joe. I've never done it. I can see that. I see the concept. I'd love to have a go, but I've never done it. Mainly because I probably don't have the safe space, or the level of insurance I would need to do it at home. So yeah, in future I will have an outbuilding for doing any hot work, firing, larger soldering jobs, etc. But at the moment I don't. But I'd love to have a go. Anybody tried it here? Marjorie, number 4. Leslie, number 3. Any other votes? Any more for any more? Any more for any more? Right, I'm just going to put a little love heart in. Send some love. Send in some love. Let me see if anybody's over in Mojo trying to get over and not know how to do it, because that's what I thought. Now stuck on an acanthus leaf. Beth, hello Beth. Good morning. Number 4 for Beth as well. You're stuck on it, as in you don't know where to go with it, Joe, and you're sand casting, or something else. Acanthus is the lovely V-shaped one, isn't it? Is that right? Acanthus, it's a V-shaped. It's got sort of almost chevrons within it. Is that acanthus? I don't know. Chris is the flower guy, I'm afraid. I don't do flowers and leaves. I just pick a little bit up here and there. So I'm not sure. Ooh. Oh, Helen. I can see. So I'm now looking on Facebook just in case anybody's struggling with the link, because last week I had a few people contact me after saying I didn't know how to get in. So I thought maybe I could advise, but I've just noticed that Helen Louise Cole, if you're in, I love the stash that you've got from Charmers. Just having to play with the beautiful stones from Gemma's first Charmers Gems night. Gosh, there's some gorgeous ones in there, isn't there? Lovely palettes of colour. So yeah, really excited. It's so lovely having such a wonderful supply of gemstones at my fingertips now at Charmers. If you haven't shopped there before, you definitely should, because it's absolutely amazing. There's a link going in now. The selection and the quality is just incredible. I just can't. Every time I go in there, I'm like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And all the things I've made, I just love. It's just so nice to be working with gemstones and designing for inspiration again. It's so lovely. Right. Any more votes, please? I've got 2 for number 4 and 1 for number 3. So I need some more votes. Joe says it's the Rococo Baroque type leaf used on table legs and painting frames. Oh, do you know what, Joe? That sounds used on table legs and painting frames. Oh, like a scrolly type leaf. I'm trying to imagine. You've got my brain going anyway, Joe. You can't vote for the Mobius, I'm afraid, Joe. You just got to give me a number because we don't know what's in what box. It's a mystery mini make. That's why you have to keep going back to see if you get the one you want next time. But yes, Mobius is a great one. Maybe I'll do a bonus one if you want to know how to do it. I might do a bonus one anyway, but let's see if it wins. It might win. I don't even know which box it's in. Well, actually, it might win. So I'll take your vote as a number 4, Joe, because it is in box number 4. Right. And after we finish, so don't forget to check back later, because after we finish today, I will be filming a bonus Christmas tutorial for this little robin. And here he is. He's a very cute little robin. If I could get it to focus, it would be really, you could actually see what I'm trying to tell you. There you go. He's very, very cute, and he's very, very simple. So I'm going to do a film a tutorial for that. Leslie says, I'm fine with 4. Okay, good. Well, Leslie, you chose number 3 originally, but I've got a few votes in for number 4. So there are 3 votes for number 4. So I will go with number 4. But ask me if there's anything else you really wanted to see out of that list. Maybe I can do a little bonus one, because Mobius rings are only a short demonstration. So tell me which other one you'd like to see, because I can just do another cheeky one. Yeah, sound fair, Christmas spirit and all that. So Leslie, you're going to go with number 3. Okay. Right, let me get my things in order. So Mobius rings, fantastic little element to be able to create. You don't have to stick, you need a minimum of 3 jump rings to do a Mobius ring, and the inner diameter has got to be at least 3 times bigger than the diameter of the link you're using. That sounds very complicated, but basically if you're using a inner diameter ring, that's sort of let's say 8mm inner diameter, 6mm inner diameter, then you'll get 6 1mm jump rings through. So basically just have a think about the size of the jump ring. The tinier the jump ring, the less links you'll be able to get in. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll show you what a Mobius ring is, and then we'll talk about how to create your own. So maybe you can make your own jump rings, and also then the lots of lovely ways you can use them. But first off, I'm going to move the screen down so that you can see onto my bead mat, and that might take a little bit of moving around, so bear with me. I'll just bring you down here. There you are, my bead mat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera upside down. This is a very old-fashioned way of doing it, because we don't have these sort of controls in here. Now, when I do workshops on Zoom, I do a lot of Zoom workshops, guys. So if you're interested in doing a workshop with me, you can come and do one on Zoom with me. And our camera controls in Zoom are much easier because you can do it all from the screen. You don't have to fiddle around like this. And I can have several cameras set up at once. So that's really good. And get all the angles we need. Right, so here's the Mobius ring. And then the other thing I'm going to do is change the focus so that it doesn't keep going in and out for us. So let me do that. Webcam settings. Here we go. Take auto off and we will change the focus to about here. How's that? Probably not quite right, is it? There. Okay. Right. I think we're good to go. So if I leave it about here, that's where we got the best focus. Excuse my one painted nail. Forgive me. Do you know, when I got married, I ran out of time and I was putting my own nails on. I ran out of time and only ended up with one hand of nails. So just my left hand, which fortunately was the correct one for all the photographs. Okay, so let's find some jump rings then. I've got some handy here somewhere. Oh, look at that, a little pack of them just there. Okay, so here are some jump rings. Now, to do a Mobius ring, the minimum amount you need is three jump rings. So that's, there's our 3, and you'll need a pair of chain nose pliers. Now, sometimes if your jump rings are quite firm, you might need 2 pairs so that you can get in and use both hands to do it. But generally, I find that I got quite strong thumbs, so I can do it without using pliers. Okay, so I've got one jump ring here in my pliers, and that's closed. So that jump ring is closed. That's the first one. And then I'm going to take 2 more, and these need to be open. So if I open the one, now when you open a jump ring, you always open towards you, so or away from you, it doesn't matter, but as long as you twist, so you're twisting it open rather than pulling it open. So this point opposite the split, so the split's just there, and the point opposite is the bit that turns. Okay, so if I hold across the jump ring like that, and I turn it up to open it, you can see I've twisted it open rather than pulled it open. Now that will enable it to keep its shape. So if you just pull it open, when you close it up, you'll definitely lose that circular shape. With Mobius rings, it's important that you keep that circular shape because that's how they tessellate. So there's one open, and here's another one. So I'll open that one up as well. So I've got 2 open. So I'm going to take my closed one, I'm going to pop the first open one through it and then close it up. So I find when I close the jump ring, if you close just past the seam and then pull it back, it sort of mitigates that little bit of spring, which makes it sort of not quite closed or just staggered. Okay, so there's that there. Now lie them down onto your worktop or work surface so that they sit inside each other like that. Now if they sit, it doesn't matter when you've got 2, doesn't matter which way round they sit, but adding the next one in is you'll need to move them around so that they tessellate. Okay, so there's those ones 2 linked together. So now take your third and pop the third one through both rings together. Okay, close it up, and I give it a little wiggle so until it's perfectly closed. And now you'll lie it down. Now one way it will look it won't tessellate. Can you see it's not tessellating there? But if I just flip that over, you see they just tessellate in together. Okay, so there's your Mobius ring there, and that is the very basic. So that's 3 in together. Now, because our inner diameter here is got plenty of room, I could keep going. So I could add another in here if I wanted to. So I've got one open. So basically you just make sure that they're tessellating like that. Then you take another open one and you pop that through the same loop. Close it up. Lie it down and you'll flip it over and you've got now 4 tessellating. Okay. And you can keep adding. So, you know, the more you add, the bigger this Mobius ring will become. And they will just sit in nicely together. Let me pop that down. Flip them so that they sit. You can see you can keep going. So bring that up towards you. You see how they just sit in nicely. Now, another nice thing you can do is do like 2 or 3 tones. So you can use maybe a gold plate, a silver, and a rose gold or a copper, and they look lovely when they're sort of all tessellated together nicely. Sorry, I'm just adapting that a bit. There you go. Yeah, so you can put as many as you like. And you see this one, you can, you know, layer the sizes. So this one's got 4 in as well, 4 rings, and that bottom one's got 2. So this is a larger sort of 8 mil inner diameter, I'd say, at the top, and then you've got your 6 mil inner diameter at the bottom. And that's there, all, you know, just adds a lovely little link, doesn't it? Now, the other thing I was saying, they're great as bead spacers because they hug the bead either side. Let me get 2 rounds and I'll show you how that works. So if I get 2 round beads here, and there's just a bit of wire. So if I thread one bead on and then thread my Mobius ring on, and then the next bead, you see how they just sit and hug so nicely in between the gems. It's a great alternative to a spacer bead. They're lovely, aren't they? They're great as little bead spacers, and it adds a bit of texture as well. So there you go. There's another way of using them. All right. So if you don't have any jump rings, or you don't have them the right size, you can of course make them. So let me talk you through how to make a jump ring. Now, when making jump rings, you'll need a bail maker, a bail making pliers, or a straight round barrel plier. So I've got a 6-step here, which is really useful because I can make jump rings in all these 6 different sizes. Okay, now this one's probably too small because the inner diameter will be too tiny. So I'll probably go up to either this one or this one. And just for the demo, I'll do this one. I'll get some 1mm wire. I've got some here. I've got some gold wire here. Just cut myself some off. Oh, thanks, Joe. That's nice. The photos were lovely. Oh yeah, well, I've got all of them now, so there's loads more, but thank you, that's really nice. It was a bit of a worry, Joe, because I don't know if any of you know, but the night before, 2 days before the wedding, I developed an abscess in my tooth and my face swelled up. So I had a very, very swollen face, and I had to get very clever with contouring with my makeup to make it look like I had a cheekbone and a jaw. Because I swelled up and my eye started to close, and luckily it started to go down on the Saturday morning. By the Saturday evening, it was not too bad. But yeah, I had a very swollen face, so I was worried about not being a beautiful bride. But at the point where it was very painful on the Thursday, I was just grateful that I was well enough to enjoy the day. And I didn't really care whether I had a swollen face or not by that time. But yeah, I was very grateful for it going down and not causing me any discomfort during the day. Apart from I couldn't eat my dinner properly. But it didn't stop me from drinking Prosecco. So that was fine, and champagne. Hi, Skajdius. That's an unusual name. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but hello. Thank you for joining me. We're just making some Mobius rings, and I'm showing you, I've just showed you how to do it, but I'm going to show you how to make your own rings now, just in case you've never done that before. So there's a lovely Mobius ring, just adding a bit of detail to a drop earring. So making your own then, I'm going to come down to the fourth step on my bail makers. It doesn't matter what size, so long as you can get the 1mm wire through the hole that you've created. So this will be a 6mm diameter jump ring. I think it's a 6. We'll measure it after. So wire inside the jaws of the pliers so it's not poking through, and then turn the pliers and pull the wire around the bail maker. Then you're kind of swiveling. Now when you're making coils on your bail making pliers, then always coil down the jaw, because it means that you can keep going even beyond that length. So obviously this has only got this much length, but if you coil downwards you can keep going, because that coil would just go off the end. So we'll keep going, and you see how it just carries on, and I'm just swivel, pinch, swivel, pinch, swivel, pinch, and you see I'm keeping my thumb next to the jaws to feed that wire on to keep it nice and smooth and tight to the jaw of the bail maker. Okay, so we now have a nice long coil of what will be jump rings. Now you can buy tools and saw these to get a nice flush cut, but I'll show you how to do it just with your tools. To save that, I often find I can't be bothered to get everything out just to make a few jump rings, so I use my flush cutters instead. Now on your cutters you have a flat side, so this is flat, and you have the other side which is like a V. Okay, so when you cut, we want two flat sides together, but of course every cut you make creates a flat edge and a pinched V edge. So to combat that when making jump rings, we first cut with the flat side going in towards the towards the ring. So flat side there, trim, and you've got a nice flat cut. Now to finish that, what we do is turn the pliers over, go to where that they meet, and cut again. Okay, so then we get two flat cuts on the jump ring. Okay, and then that means they will join up. So we'll put that down. Then when it comes to cutting the next one, you've got a pinched edge, so we need to get rid of that first. So cut off the pinched edge and then turn your pliers over, make another flat one, and you get into a rhythm of this really quickly. Now we've got a really good large inner diameter here for the jump ring, so what we'll do is do several, so we can do a nice big Mobius ring, a nice chunky one, which will form a lovely feature. And sometimes a Mobius ring is so pretty you can just do it as a pendant in its own right, or as a pair of earrings in their own right. Particularly if you use different profiled wires are nice. So you know, if you've got a wire with a texture, that can be really nice, or a wire that is like a square wire, that can look really nice as well. Okay, so there we go. We can just keep going, and you can make yourself a little pile of jump rings to work with. So let's put them together. I've got my chain nose pliers. Remember, your first one you want closed to start with, so we'll close that one up. You see that flush cut is really quite good. You can't see, and that's with my pliers that really could do with being replaced. So even with my old pliers, that's made quite a good seal. Okay, and then we'll have the rest of them open. So
take an open jump ring, pop it through the closed one, close it up and lay it down. Then take the next one, open it up, pop it through the two, give it a wiggle to close it nice and securely. That one's come a little bit out of, there we go. Right, and then remember, before you put the next one in, so this is the bit that can get a bit complicated when you're making Mobius rings, because they have to be tessellating before you add the next one in. So if I do that, they're not tessellating properly. You see, they're not sitting properly. So what you do is you just flip that over until they nestle in, okay, like that. So once you've got it into that shape, you can then add another, and each time just make sure they're sitting snugly together first. So close that up and lay it in. There we go. That's nestling nicely. We'll do a few more. Close it up and lay it down. Let's see how many we can get in comfortably. That's looking nice, isn't it? You'll get to a point you think, I can't add any more without it looking daft. So yeah, I think that's probably about it before it kind of starts losing itself. So that's that. I won't do any more than that. Let's bring it up so you can see. Can you see how nice that is? It's like, it almost looks like a love knot, doesn't it? I mean, we could keep going, keep adding, but it's lovely, and you get this lovely little dimple in the center of it. Like I said, makes great bead spaces as well. So let's put the beads in again to see what it looks like. This is one of the lovely jets that I'm working with at the moment from Chalmers. Absolutely gorgeous. They're not Whitby jet, I believe they're Chinese jet. So there you go. Look how lovely that sits and tessellates in there and gives you that lovely movement. The lovely texture in between. It's nice, isn't it? There we go. I struggle with keeping the gap closed in my jump rings. Any advice, please? Yeah, let me talk you through that again. So we did touch on that, but you might have missed it. So when you've got your jump ring open, just make sure when you've opened it, you've twisted it open for a start. So that's the first thing to think about. So we go from the beginning. So here's the opening in your jump ring, just at the top there. And when I open it, if I do it with 2 pliers, it might be easier to see. You hold opposite. So if we say that that's the like a clock, that's the 12 o'clock point. The twist to open should be at the 6 o'clock. Okay, so hold evenly on either side and twist it open. So if we look at that from the top, you can see that they're still, you know, the edges are still parallel to one another, still parallel, but the twist has happened here. Okay, so that's the first thing. When you open it evenly so that the twist happens directly opposite the opening. And then when it comes to closing, if you, the same action but in reverse, so you're holding opposite and you close, go beyond the close point, so a bit further back, and then bring it back. Okay, and I find if there's not marrying still, you just wiggle backwards and forwards like that until you get that lovely close. Okay, and you find doing that not only helps you get a nice flush close, but it also hardens the link, because it's that movement, that twisting, that work hardens the wire And you know, jump rings are just wire, so whether you've bought them or whether you've made them, they're just pieces of wire which need hardening, just like any other metal that you work with for jewelry. So yeah, so that closing, wiggling backwards and forwards, not just closing and then that's it, because the wire's got a bit of a memory, so it will spring slightly. So doing that backwards and forwards sort of helps. I hope that's helpful. I hope that is a tip that you can use and will make a difference for you. Yes. Okay, so there we go. There's our Mobius rings and some ideas on how to use it. Should we do the bonus one? Should we do a bonus one for Leslie? Right, let's see. What was Leslie's? Leslie's was number 3. Because you asked so nicely, Leslie. Box number 3 has this component in. So a simple little component, but useful. So lots of ways you could use this. You can use this, make several, and join them together. So you've got like almost like a bib style necklace, which is what I did, I think, with this design when I did it. Also, you can tip these ends upwards, pop a bit of chain on, and you've got a lovely drop earring, quite a 1920s sort of style, isn't it? That sort of fan curve shape. So you just need a variety of gemstones, really, and it doesn't actually matter too much what they are. So let me, underneath my computer here, I have a box of gemstones. Let's find a few that we can use. Ooh. The box of gems and little tutorials in the making or in the waiting to be made. Right. Well, they're cute, aren't they? Look at those. Let's use one of those as a centre. And then what have I got here? Oh, there's lots of little ones there I can use. And I've got some blue soda lights. That'll do. Let's go with that. Right. Get some bobs out. Pull this back. I think my camera is getting closer and closer to me. It's sort of drooping down like it's melting onto the desk. I have to be really careful not to hit it. Right. Let's see. What have I got here? All sorts. That's a nice little selection, isn't it? Oh, very sweet. Okay, so first off, we're making this little component. So first off, let's make that bar for the center. So again, it doesn't really matter what you use here. Just find something you like. I've got a 1mm wire. This looks like it's been done on a 0.8 or a 0.6, but again, it's up to you. This camera is slowly getting lower. I'm gonna have to raise it up a bit. So where's my focus? About here. Okay, lovely. Right, so the center, well, I'll tell you what, let's put a loop on the end. So I'm just going to put a little open loop on one end. Find the right pliers. Where are you around those pliers? Did anybody else talk to their tools? Is it just me? Talk to them as if they understand. Okay, so I'm going to put a loop on here. So into the jaws of my pliers, I want a reasonable size loop, so I'm not going to go right to the tip, but you don't want it poking out. Okay, so then just turn a loop like so, and then to straighten that loop up, just put your pliers into the loop there and pinch it back on itself like that. Okay, nice and straight. And then we're just going to put a little configuration of gems on there, so you can plan ahead if you want. So I've got that one. Let's do a spacer either side, and then a little round either side of that. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe Actually, maybe we'll put one of those either side. We'll see how that goes. Right, so I'm going to pick each one up and turn, and we're just making this little central bar. Okay, we got that there. I think actually we could do a bit better than that. Yeah, let's go for a little one on the end as well. What have I got here? I've got 2 of those. And when you're doing this, you'll have your selection of gemstones ready, so I'll go for one of those. That'll do. Okay, so we know what we're putting on. It's going to be like that. That's going to be what our little selection is. Now, I'm not going to do it up yet because I'm now going to create the loop. And what's going to be good is if we can thread it on rather than trying to close loops when it's actually so this little section is separate, and it's easier to thread it onto that bar rather than try and close the loops when it's on the bar, if that makes sense. So we need to do a little semicircle that's going to span that section there and just sit either side of these beads here. So let's take my 1mm wire again, and then I'm going to use a mandrel or something I can shape this around that's going to give me that semicircular shape. The camera's slipping. Are you all feeling it? Every time I look back, it seems to have moved. Right, I've got some big bell makers here. Let's see if these are big enough. That loop, yeah, probably. So I'm just going to wrap that around just to give me a rough shape. You can use a pen or a lipstick or something else. And what we want is that to sit, that loop to sit on there. So it needs to be a little bit wider than that. As you can see, it's not quite wide enough. So we can just use your fingers to manipulate or find a bigger mandrel to go around. A ring mandrel is a good idea. Okay, so that's going to sit in there like that. So I can get rid of some of that wire. I don't need it all. Okay, and then I'm going to thread on some gems. So I'm going to thread on just a combination. So I try and make it sort of, you know, go with what I've already got. So let's go with some nice soda lights here, if I can find the hole. Not behaving. Yep. I go 2 soda lights. And then a little combination of these. I love these little discs, these hematite discs. Just go with those. We want it to sit sort of centrally. It's difficult navigating that curve actually when you're threading gemstones on, because you know the curve, obviously the drill hole through the bead is straight, and so the curve can sometimes really get in the way. But just persevere and be gentle with it. Ease them round rather than trying to force them round, otherwise you'll lose your shape. Okay, so let's have a look, see if that is marrying up. That is marrying up there. I think we probably need a few more beads on, don't we, to make it fit? So, or shall we just shorten it a bit? No, we'll keep it there. Okay, so you can see if I bring that up so it's in view, our little section is going to sit either side like that. Okay, so we can put our first loop on this side. So to do that, take your chain nose pliers just above that little bead there, just above your little bead there. Leave a bit of a space. Just tilt the wire to a 90-degree angle and then trim it off. I'm going to leave just about a centimetre, about 10 millimetres, and then I'm going to make a loop with that. Okay, so around those pliers and roll that loop back so that it sits onto your semicircle little component you've made, and then we'll go to the other side and we'll do the same. So leave a bit of a gap and then 90-degree angle or thereabouts off to the side, trim it down to about a centimetre. I tend to do this by eye now because I just do it all the time, but if you want to measure, then do. If you're really keen to get these loops exactly the same, do a bit of measuring. Same point on my pliers, roll the loop back so that it sits just there. Okay, so now we've got a little U-shaped component like that. So we will just thread it as if it's a bead. So thread your wire through the first loop, then pick up your next bead and all the beads you want in between, like that. Okay, and then so just use that loop as if it's another bead, thread through the loop, and then add your final bead onto there. Okay, and there's your little component. And now what we can do is take this wire here and then push nice and firmly against your beads, and then make that 90-degree bend. Now you might want to sharpen it up a bit with your pliers, okay, but get it as close to the bead as you possibly can, and then again cut about a centimetre and then roll a loop. So roll in that loop back. There we go. So there's our little component, and we just want to make sure that these loops are in the same direction. So 2 pairs of pliers are good for this. So hold the loops with your pliers and then just wiggle like that until they're sitting in the same direction. Okay, like so. So there you can link them together. Like, imagine these are the same. You can link them together. You can pop a bead in between. Makes a nice, interesting sort of focal or front for a bib style necklace. Of course, you can hang off of these as well, so you could keep going. You could add a sort of a dangle from there. If you had 4 in there, it'd be nice. You could have something dangling from the center. So loads of directions you can take this in, and the hope here is that you take this little idea and run with it and turn it into your own design, or configure it in a way that you can use for your own designs. Now, if you wanted to make this into an earring, if you take these loops and just angle them upwards like that, you could then pop a bit of chain from those and have a dangle earring. So maybe a bit of chain from there and have them as dangly earrings. That would be nice. All right, anyway, that's a little component there. I actually quite like that combination of gems. I wouldn't have really done that, but it actually works quite well. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera back up, and it's going to be upside down, so I'll turn it around first, otherwise I will be upside down. It'll be very confusing for everybody. Let's put that there. Bring the camera back up. Here I am. There's my flowers. They're still in. How's that? Yeah, and I've still got my hat on. I just thought, why is the back of my head hurting? And I remember I'm not very good at wearing hair accessories because they generally hurt my head, which is why I tend to wear an elastic when I wear a fascinator rather than a band. Let's change these settings back again, otherwise I'm going to be all blurry. Come down, camera settings, here we go.
this one, and then put me back to auto. That should do it. Hey, there. Apply and okay. And off. Yeah, there we go. Right. So I've got me. I'll go and sort my flowers out in a minute because yeah, they should be up there. Right then, so that's our Monday Mojo today. Our Christmas Mojo with a little bonus demo in there. So I have to replenish now, aren't I? I need to find 2 more. You're welcome, Leslie, and you're welcome, Skadius. I think I need a thicker gauge jump ring. Oh, I always have. They twist very easily. I think I need a thicker gauge jump ring. Yeah, I'll just work harder than them after. I don't know. Some people tumble if they make in a chainmail piece. They'll tumble their piece after to strengthen it. Right, I gotta find new things to replace these demos. So here's one that's going in. This is one that's going in, ready for next week. I'll show you how to make your own bead bars. That one can go in. What else can I put in here? Oh, I've done that one. I've done that one. I've done that one. We've done nests. We did spinner rings. Oh, that's what we did last week. Spinner ring. If you missed it, we did a little spinner rings. Oh, there's a beady bead. I'll put that in with the other beady bead for variety. Oh, we'll put a cluster bead in. That'll be good. And don't forget, just let me know if you think of anything that you'd like to see, you'd like to have in the mystery make, then let me know, because it's nice to sometimes just go with whatever you ask for, rather. Thank you, Gemma. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you, Beth. Right, I'm going to go and replenish. I'm going to work on a few more things for my Charmers show on Monday, 6 p.m. Monday the 30th, 6 p.m. on Charmers Gems Instagram page. Oh, that would have been messy. Please keep letting me know what you want to see next. You can write in the comments on YouTube, or you can find me on Crow's Mojo and talk to me there. Show me what you've made in Crow's Mojo. Love to see what you've been making and how you evolve the designs. That's the whole point in showing you how to do them, so I can see them come to life in different new and beautiful ways. And mainly, I want you to have a lovely, lovely Christmas. Enjoy yourself, whatever you're doing and whoever you're spending it with. I hope every moment of it is lovely and relaxing and wholesome, and you get to do everything you want to do. And that's it, really. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. I will be posting the little Robin tutorial later. I'm just about to film it now whilst I've got everything set up. And I will see you all very soon. Merry Christmas. Bye.